Hey there guys, so as promised, I'm going to be doing an unboxing for Mouse Guard, the role-playing game, the box set. If you've been following my sketchbook review, then you know that I've been very excited about this and that I'm a huge David Petersen fan. I have been since about 2005-2006 when he came to lecture at my in my sequential art class at Mott Community College. What ended up happening though is I got into it and I really was excited and geeked about it, and then I've never had a job that has allowed me to actually invest in my hobbies. Things have changed thankfully now that I'm doing nursing. I do actually have a little bit of extra income so I can start investing in those hobbies and everything, and this was one I really wanted to get into because I was torn between getting the books and finishing the series or getting the roleplay game. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that roleplay, I highly encourage it and I've always encouraged it. Most of what I do is digital because I don't have the people available to me to do tabletop. I mean, me and Aaron can play, but it's not as much fun with only 2 people. We can probably make it work though. But he's not too interested in this. So my goal is to learn how to play the game and then maybe do a d20.net campaign or something to that degree. But I purchased this because, like I said, I was torn between getting the books or getting the game. And the game, I just feel like I can share with other people. I could share the books too, but this I can share in a creative process with, which is what roleplay has always been to me, is sharing in a creative process. You guys ask me a lot, or have asked me a lot in the past, you know, what inspires me to continue drawing. Well, it's usually roleplay. It's that collaboration. It's sharing ideas with other people. It's sharing stories with other people. And again, I've been tabletop role-playing since I was like 12, 13, 14 years old. I used to stay after school to play with a couple people that I knew. And then I got in with my husband's crew and we role-played, and it was all like Dungeons & Dragons. We started off with like the 2nd edition, and I stopped playing at 3.5 to 4. I think it went to 4, and then I tried Pathfinder, but by then I was just tired because it was the same old elves, orcs, and kobolds, and it's like, okay, I've had enough. So this is actually a nice change because this is a different world, it's a different set of rules, and it's a different concept. I mean, you're role-playing little itty-bitty mice. So that has me very excited. And I've always been a fan of Mouse Guard, like I said. I just haven't been able to afford keeping up with it, so it is what it is. For those of you who are curious, this is David Petersen's contact information. I ordered this off of his online shop because it was on Amazon, but it was going for like $80, and on his website, in particular on his shop, it was going for $70 signed, and I was like, well, psst, that's a no-brainer. I'm gonna get it signed. So yes, I do have it autographed. It is sold out now. I was very scared because when I placed the order for this, he was at a convention, and when he came back, it went sold out, and I was like, oh no, did I miss it? So luckily I didn't miss it. I'm very grateful to have gotten it all together because it's sold out now. But yeah, that's a little bit of my history and why I'm like so supportive. Like, David Petersen is also an award-winning artist and writer for the state of Michigan, and you know, that's kind of cool. I like supporting people from my home state. And again, he did come and lecture at my college, and I met him at Comic-Con in Novi, I believe. Yeah, it was Novi, Michigan. Me and a friend went. Just very nice guy, very easy to talk to, and he told us flat out, he was very real with us, which I always respect. You know, he's like, you know, he told us it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to spend years and years and years developing a concept, and if you're lucky, someone will pick it up. And he wasn't saying it to discourage, but in that class in particular, there was a lot of people who needed to be brought down to reality because they thought that, you know, tracing Dragon Ball Z fan art and making a webcomic was going to get them fame, and that's just not how it works. But he was very real, down to earth, and I adored his style back then. It's so involved, the stippling, the cross-hatching, things like that. It's not stuff you see anymore. You see a lot of digital work where people sort of have ways around doing that, but I know that he does his work traditionally. He still light tables and hand inks almost everything. He does do digital coloring, so I mean, there's that, but you know, the inks, just fantastic. Anyway, so enough of that. So let's get into this. First impressions is it's quite heavy, but I know why. I did already do a video and I realized I had to redo it because I am ridiculous and I did not have anything in focus or in center, so live and learn. But overall, love it. I love the detail on the packaging. It's very well designed. I just couldn't get it closed because there's a thing in here. I love the borders that they do, or that he does. He does it on a lot of his artwork. It's designed very well. I just so much. And then on the back here, it just kind of gives you an overview of the game, and it tells you what's in this box set. And in this box set, there's the 320-page softcover rulebook, a 48-page supplementary rulebook, 4 sets of action cards, 4 sets of weapon and armor cards, 4 sets of condition cards, 20 custom dice, a game master screen, a pad of character sheets, a pad of game master record sheets, and a map of the territories. So let's go ahead and open it up again. I'm gentle with everything. Alright, so first things first, we have the dice right here. Now these aren't like, because initially I thought they were just regular dice, like just special mouse guard dice, but 6-sided like a normal die. But no, they're not. They are very well designed. They have nice little graphics on them, and it corresponds, I believe, with the actions that can happen in game. I have not read the rule book yet, so I have absolutely no idea, but I imagine that it corresponds with something in the game. Of course it would. Why wouldn't it? So yes, and there's 20 of these, I believe. 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, 20. So let's go ahead and set those aside. They're very nice too. They're engraved. I don't know if you could see that, but they are engraved. The actual artwork is engraved into it. And then we have our decks here. Now there's 4 sets of weapons and armors, condition, and action cards, but what they mean is that there's one set containing 13, 5, and 12 of each. So that's what they meant by that on the back of the box. It was a little confusing because I was looking for those actual sets, but they're not. They're 4 sets of, yeah. And just to say, like, I love the design on these. They did a wonderful job. It's just, it's not an overwhelming design. It's not an underwhelming design. It's that nice in-between whelmed. This, like, almost skull-like mouse head is just, it's got me so excited. But he always comes across to me with, like, sort of a watercolor feel. And you don't see that very often anymore. So, but it's also, like, balanced out with nice sharp lines, too. So, okay, calm the fangirl. These right here are your condition cards. So in game, from the looks of it, you could be hungry and thirsty or sick. These are the armor and weapons cards right here. And then these are the action cards right here. So yes, 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 yes. Do, 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 do. And then this is the part that makes it to where you can't put everything back right, is this plastic thing. So I'm just going to set that aside. This is where I got super excited, was seeing these character sheets. Now with the new Dungeons and Dragons and things like that, all of this stuff is digital. I prefer to have like an actual piece of paper. So I mean, you can print your own off, but there's just something about having an authentic pad that just makes me so happy. It did come with a mark on it, and I know I didn't do that. I thought I did it, but I'm looking at it, I was like, no, there was nothing on my hand, so I got a little bit of a yeah, but that's okay. And then on the back, you've got a little, looks like, you got basic dice rolls, which is always helpful, because then you don't have to go digging through the book every time you want to do something. You can put the information about your character, and you can even design your character, which is awesome. I like that. People like me who are artsy fartsy, we are going to enjoy that, because then we get to like custom our mice to what they look like. Next is the GM sheet, which is good. This is for the game master to keep the characters sort of organized. You have their information, who's playing what character, you know, kind of what their philosophies are, and then who are their friends and who are their enemies. Like, because I know that with Dungeons and Dragons, and again, I haven't read the Mouse Guard rulebook, but if you pick like an enemy and you're a certain kind of class, that gives you a bonus to your attacks and things like that. Or if you're a friend with a certain kind of class, then that gives you bonuses to like diplomacy and things like that. But yes. Ooh, look at that. Missed session. Oh, hold them responsible, because you always have that one person who likes to miss their sessions. Okay, so let's move on. This is the rule book here. It's quite thick, quite heavy actually, but it's actually, to me, is a nice size. I like the feel of it. It feels more like the novels or the Mouse Guard comics than anything, and I'm sure that was done on purpose. But I love the inside. It's designed so well. It makes me happy. I can't even. I was flipping through here and I was seeing scenes from the actual comic, and I was like, I know where that's from. Made me so happy. But yes, it's very well designed. It's not overpowering with the text. It's not tiny little text. It's not too big of text. It's just right in between. It's not overwhelming, so like a new gamer wouldn't feel overwhelmed having to read the rules and stuff like that. Yep, that's from the first book, everyone. I recognize that angry face. And I know what's about to happen. Anyway, so yes, I'm very pleased with this. It looks like it's a lot of reading, but you know, is a lot of its background on like the territories and things like that. So really what it is it's giving you an overview of the world in order to play in the world. So that's really important for tabletop role plays. You need to understand what's going on in the world in order to, you know, accurately play the game. And of course that's up for debate. It just kind of depends on who you are. But personally, I like that, so I'm very happy with this. I'm quite excited. This has me quite excited too, because new rules and new missions, which means it's updated from the previous version. And I always like it when they come with mini missions or any kind of mission, because with new games like this, if you've never played it before, you can buy, like in Dungeons and Dragons, you can buy pre-made campaigns. That helps you to get into the game if you're not necessarily comfortable with making your own. This is very much the same concept in my opinion. I'm assuming, I haven't read it yet. But it just kind of gives you something to do with your characters and sort of feel them out and feel out the game itself. You don't have to put as much time, you know, you don't have to spend the next 2 weeks planning a campaign or something like that. You can just kind of get into it. And I feel like if it comes in a box set like that, it should come with some sort of a pre-made campaign. It just makes it easier for new gamers especially. So that way they do a couple of these, they're like, oh, I get it. All right, we're there. And then what they can do is start making their own. And again, that's the whole part of the creative process. So very happy that this is in here. It's a component to go along with the actual handbook, the player handbook. This is that GM screen. If you guys have never played Dungeons and Dragons before, GM screen is basically quick reference for your GM, and it also acts as a screen, obviously, hence the name, that you can use. You can have like your paperwork on the other side, you know what's going to happen, but it hides from the other players what you have planned going. It's kind of just like a little, don't look at my test sort of arm. But it also gives the GM some quick references in case they need them. So this is fantastic. I always love it when they come with GM screens. They don't always, but this one does. And look at it, it's got the weasels on it. Those weasels. And last but not least, we've got in here the map. Now this map is the same map I believe that's in the books, sort of on the inside cover-ish area. And this helps so you can plot out where you're going, if you're going somewhere. I assume everyone's going somewhere. But it kind of gives you a good overview. And of course, you've got the map, and then you've got the player's handbook that has information about the different territories, which really, really, really is going to help. It's going to build that world for you, and then from there you can build your own campaigns and things like that. So yes, very much happy with that. This personally, I'm like, oh, I have a map. So yes, don't mind me. I'm kind of a nerd. Overall though, just general overview of just looking at what came in the box. This is perfect. This is exactly what a beginner player needs to get started with role playing. There's a little bit of guesswork involved in learning the rules, but at the same time, you're given pre-mades to sort of just get in there, delve in there, and start working with your characters. You don't have to worry about getting online and printing off sheets or anything. You've got actually quite a few of these character sheets. There is quite a stack here. I don't know exactly how many is in here, but there's a stack. You guys, I'm sure, can see that. With the GM sheet, you can have multiple characters on a sheet, so you really don't need as many. I would only have probably at the most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably would only have 5 characters ever in a campaign, but you don't have as many of those, but you kind of do. And again, there's quick reference on the back for the GM too. The dice are sort of like a nice little bonus here. I like them. I know that they pertain to the game, I just don't know how yet, so that's why I'm not like geeking out as much about the dice. I like that they're custom for the game though, so that took some forethought, that took some development. And then of course the cards to go along with the game as well, you know, the forethought to include those to make it easier or more difficult depending is awesome in my opinion. I don't necessarily like the plastic thing, but I know it's just in there to keep things from sliding around, but I won't be using it just because I don't want to fight with putting it in every time. But honestly, with this, well, I'm probably not going to use the box either. I'm probably going to set the box aside because it's autographed. But yeah, the box, it all fits in here really nicely, so it actually makes it easier to carry. You have your books and everything in one place, not like 6 books just kind of chilling out in a backpack, and your dice in a Crown Royal bag, which is the staple of all role players, guys. Don't even, that's how it is. But overall, very impressed. I love that I purchased this. I mean, again, I was a fan already, but after looking through here and seeing everything that's in there, I'm very excited to get started with this. Once I learn the rules, I'm going to see how I can translate that into a d20.net campaign if I can't find people to actually physically play with, which is pretty much a guarantee. I won't be able to find people to actually physically play with. But overall, again, very happy with it. I'm excited for it. It's different than the Dungeons & Dragons campaigns I've been doing, have done, and have been known to do. So yeah. Overall, I'm impressed with what came in the box, and I am super excited to get started. And again, the fact that I can, if I knew the rules, I could start a campaign right now. It's already there for me, but I still will read the rules because I don't want to be that guy. But yes, very happy, you know, thanks to David and his wife Julia. They got this out to me so quickly. It was 1 day shipping actually. It's signed, and then again, I'm so happy I got in on it because it went sold out as soon as I purchased it. So I was scared, but I didn't need to be because it's okay. It was okay. Whew. But alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this little unboxing and mini review of basically just an overview. Until I know the rules, I can't give an actual review on the game itself. But from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's incredibly well thought out, very well planned out, and very well all together just basically to get started. And that excites me because, you know, that's thinking about the fans. And when people put that much thought into thinking about the fans, it just shows quality. But alright, thanks for hanging with me for this review. I hope it kind of, you know, made somebody smile. If not, I'm sorry. Sorry to have bored you, but this is how the Terry do. So I'll see you guys in the next video.